The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
After it became a park in 1902, in the 1930s, into the 40s, this was like a party place. There was a bandstand. They dug a big hole near the creek and filled it up with beach sand and made a place to swim. They had music. There was cabins all over the place. How we use parks has changed, and what we feel about them and what we want to do in them has changed.
Before Seacliff was a state park, it belonged to the Seacliff Amusement Company. This was in the 1920s, early 1920s.
Hi, Nolan.
Hi, Rick. Good start. I think you're supposed to say something then.
I know.
Public land is being taken.
Yeah.
That's why.
You think public land's being taken?
I do. I think public land is being taken.
Right. Public land is under great threat right now, isn't it?
I'm aware.
Why do you think we should care about that?
I mean, public land is it's the outdoors. I mean, it's what everyone has access to. It's not owned by individual people. I mean, you need space for everyone to enjoy the land. I mean, you can't just have someone owning it out in, I don't know, coastal California, just hogging all the land for themselves and having their little pretty backyard.
Kind of like Pebble Beach, isn't it?
Crazy.
A lot of people are attached to Big Basin is the way it was before fire, but Big Basin, like it's great that it's gone through many different phases.
All of the park staff, a lot of them lost their homes while they were trying to evacuate a completely full park. There were so many campers up here, they were absolutely at the capacity, and their homes were burning up the hill up here while they were moving them out. Nobody could do anything. So it made a big impact on this community. It made a big impact, obviously, on the 900 people who lived in the homes that were lost, and it made a big impact.
There's a seawall, yeah. So we're kind of walking on this promenade. We're not at beach level, right? So we're above beach level. So is it a seawall? Is it more than a seawall? For those of you who are familiar with coastal spaces, how close do you think the high tide got last night?
Probably where the wet mark is.
Yeah, where that wet mark is. How close is that wet mark?
If all I knew about this bill were the falsehoods being circulated by the left, I'd hate it too. The map being circulated by the left-wing Wilderness Society, run by President Biden's own BLM director and eco-terrorist, Tracy Stone Manning, is flat out misleading.
But did you feel like growing up having access to those areas makes you feel kind of shaped of your experience growing up?
Definitely. I grew up in a little town in Pennsylvania, called Farmington, which is about, 10 minutes from a state park, Ohiopyle State Park, which is known for like the Youghiogheny River and great wilderness areas, amazing outdoor activities. So I think having that, and also my mom was a little bit of a hippie lady, so she'd always have us outside. So growing up in an environment where I can be outside all the time and enjoying myself, learning new activities that I like to participate in, it was huge for my development. I think it really made me the person I am today.
Another effort from a Republican lawmaker in D.C. could affect Idaho's beloved public lands. Utah Senator Mike Lee introduced legislation yesterday that would allow the federal government to sell millions of acres across the West. And as our Abby Davis reports, this comes just weeks after a similar proposal was introduced in the House of Representatives.
What would you say that you think can convince them your best argument for public land? Why we should support National Park Service and U.S. Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management and so on.
I don't know that I'd even say anything. I think I'd just take them there. I think I'd just bring them to the land that they're trying to destroy, trying to extract these resources from. I think they need to see exactly what they're destroying and to know exactly the cost that it's going to have on the local community. They should come here, they should talk to the people around, and they should experience what it's truly like here before they start digging for oil or finding all these resources underground that are just destroying the local communities. And I understand the economic value of all of that, but is the economic value outweighing the social value of these places?